I told you earlier the Malik Willis stuff with the Dolphins. This is from Dolphins Talk, but I had seen several tweets over the weekend. Dolphins Talk says the ESPN report says Miami is, quote, definitely in on Malik Willis. Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN put out a column Sunday morning with the latest buzz they are hearing ahead of NFL free agency, which starts in 1 week. And there is a lot of buzz surrounding top free agent quarterback Malik Willis per Fowler. And yes, the Dolphins will be interested. Here's what Fowler said. Expect at least two and possibly several teams to be involved on Willis. Miami is definitely in, a source said. Arizona is combing the market too, but it doesn't seem likely that Willis would end up in Cleveland, which is another team that has been talked about. Multiple offensive coaches said Willis has the chance to be the league's best rushing quarterback and that he has the power in his legs and arm to drive the ball to all parts of the field. The issue will be that you simply can't run your whole offense with him, one prominent offensive coach said. He's not ready to handle that. So whether he can sustain a full season will be a question, but he's got a lot of ability and terrific character. Dolphins talk goes on to say, Dolphins fans are split on Willis, but Graziano does caution the dead cap hit from Tua, happy birthday Tua, may prevent Miami from ultimately adding Malik Willis. And I did see Dan Graziano or Jeremy Fowler, one of them said the notion that he's getting 2 for 50 is not going to happen. It's going to be more like 2 for 40 or 2 for 40 backloaded second year, and maybe the second year has a team out. So I would ask you this. If you could get Malik Willis, say 2 for 30, if you were putting up 15 mil a year for Malik Willis, does that change the equation?
It makes it better, but my whole question with Malik Willis is what's the goal here? To find out if he's a franchise quarterback or to win more games? Like, is this a show me contract so now he can be the future? Like, what's the point of bringing him here? And I'm with you. He's very athletic, but what are we running? Wildcat? They said the offensive coordinator said he can't run a whole offense. Like, he has limitations. Why he's been in the league 6 years and doesn't have any numbers. What is the goal? 2 years and then he balls and now you give him another 5 and now he's here for 10, or 7, whatever it is.
If you've got someone 2 for 30, say, that's not an albatross around your salary cap. You know what I mean? The 2 for 100 is. 2 for 30 is not. So it really becomes the determination of, do we know if Malik Willis can be your franchise quarterback? Is it worth this risk? Do we think Quinn Ewers has a better chance to do so for much cheaper? Because obviously they've got major salary cap constraints this season. But if I said to you, again, you can find out about Malik Willis, and it's not going to break the bank. I know 2 for 30 sounds like a lot, but that's not going to break the bank. And it's not a contract that you don't know what you can do with after a season. So I think it really comes down to, now again, I don't know what the goal is next season. Yes. Is the goal to win 4 games and have a great draft pick? Or is the goal to try to put together 7, 8, 9 wins if you can? If the goal is, if Stephen Ross says to Hafley and Sully says to Hafley, go out and win as many games as you can. And whatever we can do within the constraints of the salary cap will help you out. Whatever you need to do. And if you think, Sully, that we should extend De'Von Achane, like whatever you think we should do, we want to win football games. So if the goal is to win football games and you think Malik Willis gives you a better chance than Quinn Ewers, maybe it is worth the money.
We might have worked together for a decade. I wrote down 4 and 13, 7 and 10. Those were my 2 numbers. You just said it. Are we trying to go 4 and 13 with Quinn Ewers? That's him. Are we adding a quarterback that's okay to win 3 more games and just get drafted later? Go like we're doing now, 12, 15? Like, what's the goal? If you think he can become a franchise guy, give him the puppy deal and see if he matures into the future. But if it's just to bring a guy in because he's a different name, and he could be great. you look at his numbers. Tennessee didn't believe in him. Green Bay, he came in 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 2 rushing, decent numbers, but Jordan Love run that team. It's why he's available, because he's been a backup. He's going to stay a backup. Now, are we just taking whatever we can get because there's nobody else out there? Are we just accepting, let's see what he has?
Well,
no,
I
think
that's a risk as well, though. Like, that happens, too. Like, oh, this is the best available. Go get him.
But I don't think it is the best available. I mean, you're looking at a bunch of guys around the league who are under contract right now. There's like 5 guys around the league who are under contract that have at the very least proven they can be starting quarterbacks and they can win you some games. Like Kirk Cousins, to me, is a good example of that. He had a winning record with Atlanta last year, even though when the Dolphins played them, he looked awful. But after that, he actually looked like Kirk Cousins again. So no, Crowder, they're going after him because if they pay him, they believe that they can, whether it's next year or the year after, compete with him. And you know what? I know there's a lot of Dolphins fans saying, let's be bad next year. Let's tank. Let's win 2 games. Let's win 1 game. Let's make sure we're a top 2, top 3 draft selection for the following draft. And you know what, man? I don't buy into that at all. I'd be happy with it if that's where you end up because of cap constraints and because you can't build a better team. Fine. You know, I'm not going to be out on Halfley after 1 year because of that, or Sully. But I think there's something to be said about establishing a winning culture in your first year, trying to compete and trying to win games. And if they genuinely believe Malik Willis can help them win games and could potentially be the guy that can win them an actual playoff game down the line because they were around him,
yeah,
I would trust them. This is a big decision. It's probably the biggest decision they'll make in their first opportunity to be at the helm of a team. They're not going to botch this.
Yeah, and you know what else? I mean, the old saying, right, you only have one chance to make a first impression. It really does matter. Aaron Glenn knew that Jets team was going to be garbage, right? Everyone kind of knew it. But, man, it still reflects poorly on you when you're the guy in front of the cameras and it's your first time doing it and you've got to answer all the questions no matter what the expectations are. So I'm kind of with Solana there. You get one chance to make a first impression. So go out there, win as many games as you can. Yeah. Doesn't mean that Halfley's going to be on a short leash. He's not. But there is something, and again, I'm taking the context of a draft pick out of it, but there is something completely different about being 8-9 than there is 3-14. You know, you just have to try to win as many games as you can, and you can't hamstring. Is it hamstring? Can you say it in the present?
Yeah, you can't hamstring.
You can't hamstring the coach?
Don't go with him.
Because you can be hamstrung.
Past tense.
But can you hamstring someone?
Of course.
You could punch him in the leg.
You could turkey string it. You could whatever meat string you want to. You could.
Let me ask Claude.
Prosciutto string it.
A second. Let me ask Claude.
Bacon string it. I mean, whatever meat string. Go on.
Hey, Ho, what's up? What can I help you with?
You sound a little off today, Claude. Are you having a bad day?
Thanks for noticing. Honestly, I'm doing fine. Just ready to help with whatever you need. Maybe I was just a bit rushed with that greeting. What's on your mind?
Can you use the term hamstring in the present? In other words, I can say someone is hamstrung by a bad contract. Can I say you can't hamstring someone?
Yeah, absolutely. Hamstring works as a verb meaning to severely limit or restrict someone's ability to do something.
Told you.
Definitely say you can't hamstring someone to mean you can't restrict or hinder them. It comes from the literal meaning of cutting the hamstring muscle to disable someone, but it's commonly used figuratively now for any kind of constraint or limitation.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know it was actually from cutting the hamstring. Did you?
I didn't know cutting the hamstring. I knew you can't. I thought it was you can't run as fast or move with your hamstring.
Without a hamstring.
Yeah.
Tell me right now, the last Super Bowl winners, which one of them had a top draft pick that helped? Like I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a top 5 pick over the past 5-6 years that helped them become one of the best teams and go on and win a Super Bowl. Because right now, the Los Angeles Rams, the Kansas City Chiefs, a couple times, Philadelphia, like they never had a top 5 pick. They just hit on their draft picks, and they made the right draft picks year after year after year, and they made the right signings year after year after year. That's why, look, like I'm not opposed to getting the number 1 overall pick if it's because, look, bottom line, it's a situation you're in. You couldn't sign guys because you don't have any cap space, and it is what it is. Fine. I'm not going to fault them for that. But that shouldn't be your goal. You shouldn't try to tank in the NFL on purpose in year 1 of a new coach and GM regime, because there's numerous examples of
or
teams
at least not at the
doing
beginning
that.
of the season. You can make a decision
sure,
if
for
things are 0-8 and you're heading
Yes.
south.
Yes.
But no, Salon, and you're right. The Lions, they haven't won a Super Bowl. Their draft pick, Penei Sewell, Montgomery, Aiden Hutchinson, they turned the franchise around.
Yeah, there's examples of that too. I'm not saying there isn't, but look at the Super Bowl winners. Like, the Chiefs never just tanked. They got lucky that they drafted Patrick Mahomes. I get that. But why can't – maybe the Dolphins will get lucky one year.
In 25 years, they haven't.
They're due.
Sooner or later.
They're due.
Well, I'm not – like the whole tank thing, not tanking. If you think Malik Willis is a double-digit win quarterback, and they know him, if they feel that way about him, go get him. He's cheap at $15 million a year, $20 if it is. Go get him and show us that you knew something, because you went, identified him, and brought him in, and then let's see it. But if it's just to not be Tua, that's what I don't want them. I don't want them to just get somebody that's not Tua.
Well,
because Tua was decent. Tua can win 10 games.
I think half the fan base wants a quarterback with the nameplate that says not Tua. Happy birthday, by the way, Tua.
Happy birthday, bro.
No. Look at the Raiders this year. The Raiders this year, they sucked. They purposely tried to lose games. Does anybody feel like the Las Vegas Raiders are in a position to turn their organization around in the next 2-3 years with the number 1 overall pick? I mean, none of us know Mendoza's going to be good or not, and they have to take him. If they don't take him, they're literally going to be ridiculed if he does become really good. And there's no other quarterback that you would even put in that conversation. So, like, now they're hamstrung. They have to take a guy that they probably don't feel like is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback or can put them in that conversation for the next 2-3 seasons, because he's going to be a project, but they have to take him. So there's just no guarantee, is my point. Like, don't hunt to go be the top pick. Go try to win games early on. And then if you suck, like you're saying, Hawk, fine. It is what it is. You make that determination. But I see a lot of people just saying, let's suck. Let's have the number 1 overall pick next year. And I don't understand that logic. I believe in establishing a culture. Maybe it's because I have the heat blinders on, maybe. I get that. But I think
you're right.
Important.
If there's a first-year coach, first-year general manager, you got to come in guns blazing.
And I always say it to that point when everybody says, tank for this, tank for him, tank for him. I say, now go talk to 53 grown men that are paid to play this game and 20 people on the coaching staff and tell them all to lose game purposely. It doesn't work out that way. But we have, I guess, what is our goal? What is the vision of a Malik Willis-led football team? And if Sully and Halfley, who they have to make a good impression now, I'm with y'all on that. If they say this is what we want to set, we need to bring him in, you're going to see, okay, well, let us see. I hope Malik Willis is he's an all-pro, first all-pro the Dolphins to have a quarterback in years. But is that the goal? Are we just trying to not have Tua around and bring in somebody that we're comfortable with because we went out to dinner Friday nights with? I don't know about it.
Happy birthday, Tua. All right, let's get headlines. Brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
If you saw Tua at Joe's, would you talk to him?
Oh, my God. I mean, I want to make him my best friend. You know how I am around celebrities.
I badmouth him all the time. I'd be so nice. What up, big bro?
But I don't have anything against Tua. I don't. I like him. I've been a bigger fan of his than anybody. It was a terrible season last season. I would have had to have been blind to not acknowledge that. But I think he's been a good dude. It's not his fault that Chris Greer ate up all the salary cap on him.
Yeah.
Take as much money as anyone will give you. I got no problem with that. It's not like he hid a broken leg. Like, he had a good season and he wanted an extension before they had to give him one. And he had been a good soldier and they rewarded him. Not his fault. If you want to be mad at someone, you can be mad at Chris Greer.
Is it his fault that he went from one of the top quarterbacks in the league and the number one offense to not even knowing what the other team's jerseys look like and throwing it to them?
Other players in any sport have fall-offs. They do. Sometimes it comes later than it has with Tua, but for whatever reason, like, I don't know if the lack of mobility really affected it. I don't know if the lack of Tyreek really affected it. Whatever it was, there was a significant drop-off in accuracy and performance. But again, I don't blame him. It's not his fault that the Dolphins are in salary cap hell. Like, the contract was given by the front office. It's their fault.
I'm split on that, though, because I'm with you. I view it from one way. Tua literally, forget the money for a second, literally died on the field. Like, I saw it. And he wanted to come back. And then he had another concussion and he wanted to come back. Like, he risked his livelihood, the future of his mental health, because he wants to play for my organization. Like, I'm ride or die with a dude like that. But on the other hand, Hawk, I think we're also downplaying why a lot of the fan base felt like it was just enough with this guy this past year. I mean, he comes out and he does the show me the money thing after he gets paid, and he didn't perform to that level. He didn't stay healthy. And then let's not forget, he had those comments at one point after a really bad start this year where he's like, well, I still get to go home and play video games with my kids. Like, I'm not saying he's wrong. He's right. But the fans don't want to hear that when you're 1-6. And then he threw the entire team under the bus as well. That also soured on a lot of the fan base. I'm saying it's not as clear cut.
I'm not telling you he's the greatest guy on the planet, but like somebody had put on the chat, like, come on, Hawk. How does it look the minute you get paid? You start to suck.
Yeah,
but
he's not trying to suck.
That's my point. Like, it's not like all of a sudden he was Anthony Davis or Kawhi Leonard and he's just not playing in games. He's getting a massive amount of money and he's just not playing in games. That dude's out there. So if he's making the decision to be out there and play through the concussions and all the pain, he's not saying to himself, hey, I want to play through all the pain and risk my my future brain function. But when I get a chance to throw an accurate deep ball, I'm going to purposely throw it short because I just got paid. Like, that's not going to happen. If he had just gotten paid and then all of a sudden couldn't stay on the field, one thing.
I got to ask Solana. So Tua gets a couple concussions and you love him because he fights through pain. I played through injury for 6 years and led the team in tackles. You act like I'm Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, well, you had one career interception. What are you talking about, though? Like, you were a fan favorite. I didn't like
you. Get
you were a
like
fan
me.
favorite.
Tua got hurt and he's fighting for my team to come back. Damn, what do you think I did? I was playing through knee
felt
injuries
like you were
for
fighting
years.
through anything, though.
Huh?
No one ever felt like you were fighting through anything. You did you did a bad job of creating that narrative.
No, Hawk. You know why you didn't know I was fighting through anything? Because I'm a G and I don't lay up on the field crutched up when I get hurt. I jump up and run off like a man.
No, you should have let everybody know.
Maybe if you had covered Algie Crumpler a little bit better over the middle, I would have rode with you, bro. I mean,
Man, that little fat joker could run. I said, how is he moving his weight like this?
All right. Aside from Tua Tagovailoa, I did see the report from Dan Graziano that the Dolphins are expected to work on extensions for De'Von Achane, Aaron Brewer, and Jordan Brooks. If you had to rank the three players you wanted to get extensions, I would imagine it's probably in that order. Like, those are your three best players from this past season. And Riley
100%.
Patterson.
The only thing is, do you think, like, because Achane, certain times running backs are flash in the pan, incredible season guys. And I wonder if Jordan Brooks actually is the most significant long-term signing.
It's funny. I was just going to say, Jordan Brooks' sustainability at what he did, I think, is one of the top on the list of those three. Aaron Brewer was a hell of a center, but he had injuries. He was in and out and always on that chart. And De'Von Achane, almost back to the Malik Willis conversation. You come in as a general manager and get rid of your biggest offensive threat that everybody loves. It's almost like I'm already hurting my fan base
Right.
from the get-go by getting rid of De'Von Achane.
Well, they're not
Achane
gonna
is
get
the
rid of
most
him. It's if would you extend him though is the question.
and there have to. If I was his administration, his handler, I would tell him to hold out. I wouldn't tell him to go to camp this year. Get your money because you're a running back. To that point, he's the most exciting thing in Miami Dolphin football in a long time. This Tyreek and him in the last 10 years, 8 years.
This is his window, by the way. He'll never have more hype around him on a contract year unless
You think
unless he balls out this year and they don't pay him this year, and then he's a total free agent next year. But I'm saying, like, I'm with Crowder. I don't think there's a chance in hell he suits up if the Dolphins don't throw him some sort of money after the year he just had. He was literally your offense the entire season. He was your offense. This is his window to get that actual big payday. I love De'Von Achane, but I had brought it up to you guys last year right before the trade deadline. I love De'Von Achane, but we're really going to commit the type of money I think he's going to be after, like top 5
sell
running
high
back
is
money.
the question. I mean, if you're going to get something in return, this is the time.
I wouldn't be against it. But I'm with you, Solana. I love him. I think he's an amazing player.
I just don't like the optics of it, like you said.
You're resetting. You're either building your offense around this. He's going to get Saquon Barkley. What does Saquon get? $70 million? Something crazy like that?
I don't know if he'll get Saquon money, but
that's what I'm going to ask for.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You asked for Urlacher money. You didn't get that.
You know what? This conversation, I need to go manage De'Von Achane. That's what I'm getting at right now. I'm putting my name in the hat.